everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we are going to learn how to create GoToWebinar registrant for Google Ads lead. So I'm a personality development coach and I am recently hosting a webinar. Now to promote a webinar, I am running Google Ads and using GoToWebinar, I manage all the webinars that I host. Here what I want is that as soon as using Google Ads, I'm going to receive my client's details. I want to add that client as a registrant in my GoToWebinar account in the webinar that I'm hosting, okay? Now for doing this manually, it will be very time consuming. So what I've done is I've simply automated this entire process with the help of Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software. And here in this automation, I'm going to build a connection between Google Ads and GoToWebinar with the help of it. So if you also want to learn about this amazing automation process step by step, for that, let me take you to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to create GoToWebinar registrant from Google Ads leads. So as a personality development coach, I rely on webinars to connect with my potential clients and share valuable insights. I use Google Ads to reach to people who are interested in my webinar, and I use GoToWebinar to host professional webinars where I can engage with them and showcase how my coaching programs can make a difference. The problem is managing the registrations manually is both time consuming and inefficient. So to solve this, I've automated this entire process. Now, whenever a new lead is going to be generated using Google Ads, the details are automatically been added to my GoToWebinar as a registrant. This ensures a smooth and immediate registration experience for my leads, saves me valuable time, and also allows to focus on delivering impactful webinars that inspire and empower my audience. And I'm going to create this amazing automation between these two applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen, you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign in to our Pabbly Connect account. We are going to sign in to our Pabbly Connect account, but if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign into my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the All Pabbly Apps window in front of you, in which you can see all the applications of Pabbly, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on this Access Now button. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on this top right corner right here that says Create Workflow. A dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the workflow name and for us to select a folder. So for the name of my workflow over here, I'm going to give it as Create GoToWebinar Registrant from Google Ads Lead. So this is the name that I want to give to my workflow, okay? After that, it is asking for us to select a folder. So on the left side of my screen, you can see I've created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click on this drop down. These are the folders from which I'm going to select Google Ads Automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving the name to the workflow and selecting the folder, I'm going to click on this Create button in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created in the name of Create GoToWebinar Registrant for Google Ads Leads, and there are two windows in front of you. One says Trigger, other says Action. So what is Trigger and Action? Trigger and action are the two most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these two principles. Over here, trigger says when this happens and action says do this. That means what is action? Action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. We are going to set up our trigger step first. And for the trigger application, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as Google Ads. Google Ads is an online advertising platform by Google that helps businesses to promote their products or services on Google Search, YouTube, or other websites. And I use Google Ads to promote the webinars that I host. And with the help of it, I collect the data of the people who are interested in the webinar that I'm hosting. So here what I want is that as soon as the lead form submission is going to be done by the lead using Google Ads, automatically and instantly Pabbly Connect should capture the response of that. That is why for my trigger application, I'm going to select it as Google Ads. And for the trigger event, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select as new lead form entry. As whenever a lead form submission is going to be done by the lead using Google Ads, automatically and instantly Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response of that. After selecting a trigger application and the event to build a connection between Google Ads and Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. With the help of this unique webhook URL, we're going to build a connection between Google Ads and Pabbly Connect by following the steps given here below in the help desk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this URL from here. After copying the URL, I'm going to open the ad campaign. So this is the ad campaign that I'm running, and this is the lead form of this campaign you can see right over here. And with the help of this form, I collect the data of the people who are interested in the webinar that I'm hosting. Okay. So over here now what we're going to do is we're going to connect this lead form to Pabbly Connect. Now I am not running a live campaign with the help of Google Ads right now. This is just a new campaign that I've created and it's a draft campaign. In the similar manner that I'm going to tell you right now the steps, you can connect your live campaign as well as with Pabbly Connect. Okay, so now what we're going to do is to connect this campaign to Pabbly Connect. For that I'm going to scroll down. Over here we're going to scroll down and it says over here lead delivery option. I'm going to click on this button right here. As I'm going to do that, it says webhook integration. Okay, over here in the webhook integration, it is asking for the webhook URL. In this field, I'm going to paste the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. Then it is asking for the key. I'm going to enter dummy key right over here. And as this campaign that I'm running is not a live campaign, so just for the test, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send the test data to this webhook URL. For that, I'm going to click on the send test data button. It says test data is sent. Okay. And if you have added the webhook URL to save the changes that you have created, you can click on this apply button right here. Okay. So as the test data has been forwarded, I'm going to go back to my workflow and scroll down. You can see right over here, Pabbly Connect has captured the response, the test data right here. Okay. This is a positive response. Okay, this means Google Ads has now been connected to Pabbly Connect. Okay, now let us tally the test response. Over for the email, we have received the email. You can see right over here. For the phone number, last name as the last name. This is string value last name right here. For the first name, this is the first name data right here with all the other details. As the response of the new lead being generated has been captured right here, this means that Google Ads has now been connected to Pabbly Connect and our trigger setup is done. Now, whenever by the lead who are interested in the webinars that I'm hosting is going to do the lead form submission using Google Ads, automatically in the similar manner that we have captured the test response, the response of the lead details is going to be captured as well. Okay. After setting up our trigger step, we need to set up our action step. As I now want to create this lead, I've done the form submission using Google Ads as a registrant in my GoToWebinar account. For that, we're going to set up our action step. And for the action application over here, I'm going to select it as GoToWebinar. And for the action event, I'm going to select it as create registrant, as I want to create this lead as a registrant in my GoToWebinar account. Okay. And then I'm going to click on this connect button. A window is going to appear in front of you on which it is asking for all these details in order to connect our GoToWebinar account to Pabbly Connect. Okay, over here it is asking for the from time and the to time. For these fields, we have to enter the from and to time of the webinar that we are hosting in our GoToWebinar account. So for the from time, it is 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Now over here, we have to enter this time in a UTC time zone format. So for that over here, we have to firstly change this format of the time right over here, that is in IST, that is Indian Standard Time, that is 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. So now for changing this format, I'm going to open a new tab in which I'm going to search for IST to UTC converter. After doing that, you can select any of the time converters from this right here. Now what I want is I want to convert my IST to UTC time zone right here. Okay, over here I've already told you that my start timing of the event is going to be 10 a.m. So I'm going to select over here as 10 a.m. Okay, this is going to be my IST time zone, and as I've converted it, it's 4:30 a.m. in UTC time zone format. So now what I'm going to do is over here it is asking for the from time, which is 10 a.m. So I'm going to enter the exact time zone right away in the similar format that we have received in the help desk. I'm going to make some changes. The date is 2024. I'm going to show you here. The date is 2024th of December 23rd. So over here I'm going to write it as, this is the date, that is 23rd of December 2024, and the time is in a UTC time zone format, that is 4:30. So I'm going to write over here as 0430 and 00. Okay, I've entered the from time zone format right over here in the format that Pabbly Connect is asking for. Then it is asking for the to time, which is going to be 11 a.m. So I'm going to convert this time zone again right here, that is 5:30 a.m. So now I'm going to enter the time in this format that it is asking for. So I'm going to copy and paste it right over here, and I'm going to make the changes right here. That is 2024 12 23 5:30 00 and Z. Okay, so this is the to time. After entering the from time and the to time, I'm going to click on this connect with GoToWebinar button right here. After click on connect with GoToWebinar, you can see a window is going to appear in front of you, which is asking for a permission. So I'm going to click on this allow button. As this is saved process, my data is perfectly saved with Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to click on this allow button right here. As I've done that, you can see it's fully authorized GoToWebinar with Pabbly Connect. After authorizing, it is asking for the webinar name. So I've created a webinar in the name. Now I'm going to close this tab. Unlock your true potential personality development webinar. So this is the name of the webinar. So over here from the drop down, I'm going to select the webinar right here. Now it is asking for the first name, last name, email, and all the other details of the registrant that we are going to create. So for the data of these fields, what we are going to do is we're going to map the data. What is mapping? Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So I'm going to insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. How mapping works is that as soon as I'm going to click on this field, this was the previous step. And this step, you can see this was the same response that was captured in our previous step. It is asking for the first name over here. So I'm going to search for the first name. The first name is the test data string value. So I'm going to select the data of the first name from my previous response, as I'm going to create this lead as a registrant in my GoToWebinar account. So as I've selected the data from my previous response, the data is mapped. And as I map the data has now become dynamic. That means whenever a new response is now going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data is going to be updated in place of this map data. Similarly, for the last name, I'm going to search for the data of the last name and map the data of the string value. For the email over here, I'm going to map the data of the email that I've received. The email, I'm going to map the data. For the address, I don't have the address field, so I'm going to skip the part. I have received the city's data, so I'm going to map the data of the city right over here. So this is data of the city. I'm going to map the data. Okay, next it is asking for all these details, which I do not require. So I'm going to skip the part. For the phone number, I've received the data of the phone number. So I'm going to map the data of the phone number right here. Okay. After filling in all the required details, I'm going to click on this save and send test request button. As I've done that, we have received a response which comes over here as true, which is a positive response. So now I'm going to open my GoToWebinar account and check whether a new registrant has been created in my account or not. For that, I'm going to open my account. This is the webinar right over here. And to check the registrants list over here, I'm going to refresh this page first. As I've refreshed the page, I'm going to scroll down over here. A bar is given in the name of registration. I'm going to click on it, under which it says total registrants. I'm going to click on this number right here. As I've done that, you can see a registration has been done for the name, first name, last name. This is the test data of the lead, where the email is test@example.com has been successfully created as a registrant in our webinar that we are hosting using GoToWebinar. As the registration has now been created successfully, this means that we have successfully created an automation between Google Ads and GoToWebinar with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now, what we have done over here for my trigger, I've selected as Google Ads and new lead form entry, as whenever by the client who are interested in the webinars that I'm hosting does a form submission using Google Ads, automatically in the trigger Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response. As the response is captured, we have set up my action step in which with the help of this response, a registration has been created in the webinar that I'm hosting with the help of GoToWebinar. Okay, and for that I've created this amazing automation between Google Ads and GoToWebinar with the help of Pabbly Connect. So this was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Not just with these applications, you can create automation between multiple other applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. If you have any questions, you can contact us on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can check the queries on forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment on if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video.